Coffee time, coffee time. Yeah, this ain't your average cup of joe. Listen, I need it in the morning, I need it at night. He always keeps it brewing, he always keeps it tight. Just a little sip, it'll get you right. Terrence Pickett always be the one that gets the coffee right. The coffee's right, the coffee's right in my life. It's never a wrong time or a crime to get what's yours and to get what's mine. Come on. Coffee time in my life. Coffee time. Feels so right. I need a little sugar, put it in my cup. Can you stir it, Terrence? Let me know what's up. And at the end of the show, you can brew another pot. Just make sure you make it hot. Come on. Time in my life. Coffee time. Feels so right. I need a little sugar, put it in my cup. Can you stir it, Terrence? Let me know what's up.
Arm all twisted off and all that kind of stuff. And then she come hobbling back to you, saying, now I'm ready to make considerations. You know, you say, well, with all you mutilated it like that, you know. But God is a just God and He is a loving God. And sometimes He'll brush us off and take us on and save us. But there's such thing as waiting too late.
Right.
And some people don't believe that, but you keep, He said, I'll laugh at you when your fear comes. How was that? I mock you when your fear come and laugh at you in your calamity. And so there's such thing as I mock you. And haven't you called somebody and they call you back? Call somebody and they call you back? You went at an empty house.
Right.
Said something, you could hear your echo. And I kind of statement is that. And so there's certain time as, certain things as, we can wait too late.
Now, see, that's wisdom that only your grandmother can give to you. That's my granny. She's been gone now for 4 years. She's been gone for 4 years and 2 months. 4 years, 2 months. And I miss her. But the wisdom that she had is phenomenal. Here's what I'm going to do. I need you to do me a favor. It's been a while, but we're trying to get back on schedule, get back in the groove of giving coffee time every day the way that we used to. I need you to do me a favor, invite somebody, share. I'm going to share a song with you. I love this song. I'm going to share a song with you, and after this, I'm coming right back. Make sure you invite somebody, share.
Put your hands together. Hallelujah. Tragedies are commonplace. All kinds of diseases. People are slipping away. Economy is down. People can't get enough pay. But as for me, all I can say is thank you, Lord, for all you've done for me. Now folks without homes are in the street, and the drug habits, some say they just can't eat. Muggers and robbers, no place seems to be safe. But you've been my protection every step of the way. And I want to say thank you, Lord, for all you've done for me. Hey, it could have been me. Thank you. Outdoors. Thank you. Thank you. All left alone. Thank you. Without a friend. Thank you. Or just another number. Thank you. When the tragic is, Lord, you don't see fit to let none of these things be. Thank you. And every day by your power, thank you. You keep on, you keep on keeping me. I wanna say thank you, Lord, all you've done for me. Said it could have been me. Thank you. I know with no food. Thank you. And no clothes. I'm left alone without one friend. Or just another.
All right. Before I get happy, So to today, since it's been a while, welcome back to Coffee Time. Since it's been a while, I want to talk about the lying boss. A lot of people may say, well, what is lying boss? Well, it's real simple. Listen, lying boss is that job. It's the person you work for. All of them aren't lying, but a lot of them are, because what they're trying to do is hold you hostage. Most jobs, or a lot of jobs for a lot of people, it's become the paymaster to keep you quiet. It's become they're paying you hush money so you don't step out and do the thing that God has created you to do. Now, I don't believe that is the case with every job, but I do believe that's the case with a lot of jobs. You can be an entrepreneur and be paying yourself hush money. You could be hiding behind businesses because that's not the thing that God's called you to do. But whatever you were created for, that is what the earth needs. Do me a favor. So because of the algorithms are off because we haven't been on for a while. I need you to invite somebody, share. Please invite somebody, share. You see the mug. Who's on this morning? Let me do that. Invite somebody, share, please. I need you to invite. If everybody invite 2 people, that'll help us out real good. Sunshine 1113. Hello, good morning to you. If you are on and you've not said anything in the comments, I don't know you're here. Duchess O'Neill, good morning. This is my first cup of the day. Many of you know, Pretty Black, good morning. One of the reasons, well, the only reason I haven't been on, Michelle Byers, good morning. The only reason I haven't been on doing coffee time is I have a coffee shop, right? And, you know, when you start a business, open a business, when you have a business, you have to get in. It's all knees and elbows, baby. It's a grind. You got to get in there and you got to do whatever it takes to make it work. You know, you can hire people, but that don't mean they're going to stay. People get fired. There's just a lot of transitional things that happens when you have your business, but we pretty much got some good stability. We have some good people that work for us. God has sent us some wonderful people, and it's given me an opportunity to kind of step back a little bit now, not much, but some. And that's why I'm here. So if you look at the logo on the screen, the bottom left-hand corner, it's Crazy Beans Coffee. We're located 100 La Villa Center Drive, Jacksonville, Florida. And I can't wait until you come check us out, okay? So that's the only reason I haven't been doing coffee time. I do it here and there. Generally, when I do it, I'm at the coffee shop. A lot of moving parts, but I got an opportunity to do something today that I hadn't done seemingly in forever, and that is sleep in. I got up at 3, started my routine, went back to bed at 6:30, got up again at 7:45, and now we are here, and I'm grateful for that. Duchess O'Neill, good morning. Happy to see you back at this time. Congratulations on your business. Duchess, thank you so much. Rhonda Oliver, where you been? Good to see you. Do me a favor, everybody, invite somebody, share. So everybody was born with some kind of gift. Everybody has something that they're supposed to contribute. Everybody has something that they're supposed to give. As it relates to the things that God has deposited in you. Here's what happens. When we're born, when we're raised and we're trained, and a lot of the teachings that we've received to help us develop discipline actually begin to change who we were created to be, because we're trained to do things according to a system that's been established outside of us. They don't really train us for us. They train us to fit in to this world. And as a result of that, we begin to change because of the thumbprints that have been placed on our soul, the fingerprints that are placed on our soul, our heart. It changes our mind from this, it changes our mind from that, and we get away from who we were created to be originally, and we have to get back to that place of originality, that place of natural flow. So if you're trying to find out what you were created to do in life, what comes natural? What comes natural to you? Did y'all invite somebody? Help a brother out. What comes natural to you? What is the one thing that you would do if money was not an issue? If you could do anything in life free of charge, all your bills are taken care of, you're a multimillionaire, what would that be? Generally speaking, or in general, whatever that thing is, that is probably the thing that you were created for. If it's not the thing you were created for, it'll lead you to the thing that you were created for. And it's time for you to start thinking about why you are on earth. Here's why. We generally don't think about death until we're at a funeral, until another loved one dies. There's a scripture in the Bible that says that it's better to be at a funeral than a festival of feasts. And the reason it's better to be at a funeral than a festival of feasts is a funeral is really the only time we get to soberly reflect on life. You know, what have I done? What am I doing with my life? I can promise you one day you're getting ready, you're going to close your eyes. The life is going to leave your lungs. The wind is going to leave your lungs. What are you going to leave behind? So I believe that prosperity, I believe that peace, all of those things live in what you were created to do. You take a fish out of water, he will survive on land. But it's going to shorten his life because he's outside of the element where he was created to be. Well, if it's true with fish, it's also true with humans. I really believe with all my heart that not in every case, but in a lot of cases, we're not living not in every case now, but in some cases, life is shortened because of the stress. Stress basically is a magnet for sickness and disease. When sickness and disease invade the body, the spirit of that person has to escape when the body expires. Well, when you live outside your purpose, when you live outside of what you were created for, you become a magnet for dysfunction. It may not even be sickness and disease in your mind. It could be sickness and disease in your mentality, in your psychology, your way of thinking. Because when we live outside of the element where we were created to be, we're living outside of the life that we were supposed to have. And in the same way that a fish can survive for a little while outside of its element, I believe the same way humans can survive a little while outside of their element. And thank God for grace, because grace covers us until we're able to get it right. So you really have to pay attention. You got to pay attention to your passions, to your desires. You got to train your kids to chase what comes natural to them and create a balance so that they can survive in life while listening to what's inside their heart. So the system that has been created for us is that you do grade school, you go to high school, after you finish that, you go to college, you get a job, and then you will retire. Well, where does that come from? That's the American system. There's a system that operates outside of America. I don't believe God created us for retirement. I don't. I don't think we're supposed to retire. I think as long as there's breath in the body, there's a purpose under the sun. Your position may change based on your strength, based on your life. Moses led the children of Israel out of Egypt into the promised land. Gwendolyn Washington, good morning. And then his position changed. He was the leader. He shifted from leadership in activity, and he became more of a voice of wisdom. But I don't believe in retirement. Now, you've given a company 30, 40 years of your life and you retire. You retired from that job, but you don't retire from life. When you retire from life, that's death. Jamie, overseer retired from Yulee. Wow. But just because you retired, your life is not over. And I believe if we change our way of thinking as it relates to life, who we were supposed to be, who we were created for, and understand that the purpose of your life extends beyond your retirement from your job, I believe we could get a lot done quick. I also believe, I believe this with all of my heart. Oh, he retired from there. 41 years of pastoring. Wow. I believe, for instance, Jamie Johnson's daddy, one of the greatest men I know, he retired from pastoring the church in Yulee for 41 years. Do you know how much wisdom that man has now? I believe now he can move into the same role that he was already occupying, but more of a father to this younger generation. We have not many fathers. We don't have the wisdom that our parents used to have, and the world is not yielding the fruit that it used to yield because nobody wants to listen to anybody. So you've got to find out what you were created to do, what you were created for. Your gift is a tool to bless other people, but you occupying that gift gives life to the people it was intended for. I never forget Bishop T.D. Jakes. He preached a message over 25 years ago. It was Naked and Not Ashamed. He preached that message, then he put it in a book, or he could have put it in a book and then preached the message. Whenever it was before he built that monster in Dallas, Texas. This is when he was still living in Charleston, West Virginia. He would have Back to the Bible conferences, and one of the messages he had at the Back to Bible conference was Naked and Not Ashamed. That single message saved my life, literally. I was suicidal at the time, didn't want to live at the time, was going through a lot of things at the time, and I heard him preach Naked and Not Ashamed. And he was talking about how we need to be more transparent in the things that we've gone through, because it's our transparency that literally sets the roadmap for somebody else's life, instead of being translucent. Keeping everything private. And I'm not saying that there aren't things that you need to keep private, but this is what the message was saying. And that message saved my life. It did. It saved my life. Now listen to this. Him living in his purpose. Him operating in his gift. Reached me some thousands of miles away. Just him operating in his gift, that message traveled to me, caught me in a time when things were dark in my life, and kept me from killing myself. Not only did it keep me from killing myself, now that I'm alive, it also gave me hope for the future. Here it is, some 25 plus years later, And I'm still able to quote segments of that message because it left such an indelible mark. His gift was the answer to my problem. Don't you let your boss lie to you. You're valuable. Your boss is a system. It's a system of operation. It's not necessarily a person. Pharaoh is a system. You're valuable. There's something that you have to contribute, to give to the world. There's something that you're supposed to be putting out on a day-to-day basis that is supposed to bring life to somebody else. And I know, church folk, you want to confine it within the four-wall structure, where COVID then taught us that the gift is not supposed to live in a building. Listen to this. Your gift is an extension of the grace of God. It can benefit the four-wall structure, but it's supposed to live outside of that. A lot of the stuff that we've cut off and narrowed, and the church have kept enclosed in certain people. We've got to tear the wall down of the church. Instead of it being a four-wall structure, it needs to be a three, so we can get stuff out and get people in. So you're not called to be a church musician. You're not called to be a church singer. You're not called to be an usher, a deacon. You're not called to be an elder, a minister, a trustee. Those are offices, and to a certain point, gifts that the church, the building, benefit from. But the reason the building is supposed to benefit, there are people inside of the building that is supposed to be inspired by your gift. So your gift is not limited to the four-wall structure. It should exceed. It should go beyond. When you leave on Sunday, Monday, that gift, you should be in planning mode on how you're going to get that gift to the rest of the world. Because I really believe with all my heart, I believe this, that your gift is for the world. It shouldn't even be segregated to the United States. Click of one button. When I came on this live, the click of one button, I'm around the world right now. When we get off, it's going to send me some stats to tell me who was watching where. I'm around the world right now. Why? Why? Because as time change and technology has become better, we're able to go into the world easier to present our gift. And that gift is supposed to be life to somebody else. Something that I say should inspire you to life. About a month ago, one of my brothers, I'm going to call his name. I don't know if I should. But let's take a vote real quick. Should I call his name? Let's take a vote. I'm waiting for your answer. Should I call his name? Because I don't know if he was talking to me privately to share, or it was just a private conversation, but it hit me so hard, I'm not going to tell his business. All right. Duchess O'Neill was the only one that answered. She says no. So the no's are one. But one of my bros, he's a businessman. He's a music producer. Rhonda, see, I don't know. He's a music producer. If I call some of these music artists out, you know who they are. He's the mechanics behind their gift. He was in town. He came to the coffee shop. We sat down, had a cup of coffee, and I got a chance to treat him, and I got a chance to bless him with some of the best coffee on this side of heaven at Crazy Beans. He came to Crazy Beans. At the time he came in, my hand to God, I was sitting down in a little meeting in the dining area. I'll go to the dining area to get business done. Same thing you do. Same thing I used to do in other coffee shops I do in the one that we have. And while I was sitting there, I happened to look up and I saw a person coming through the door. I said, that's my bro. He had his mask on and I knew who he was immediately. As we began to talk, I went back and made him some coffee. He loved the coffee that I made. He said to me, hey, I don't know if I ever told you this, but coffee time saved my life. I was like, what do you mean? He said he went into the details and began to explain to me what coffee time had been to him. Now, why am I sharing that? Because something as simple as me turning on this microphone, talking about the stuff we go through in life, trying to give perspective, had an impact on his life to the point where it saved his life. Most time we do things, and the things that we do, we don't understand the gravity behind it. We don't even understand the complete purpose behind it. So because we discredit our gift in so many different ways, and I can name how we discredit it. One of the ways we discredit our gift is through procrastination. The reason we're not moving and doing more is we don't think we have enough of what we need. You're discounting your gift. You don't know what your gift is going to be to other people. So he said it saved my life. I was floored. I didn't know it had that kind of impact. For me, I'm just doing what I enjoy doing what I believe I'm supposed to do. That is the impact that your gift is supposed to have on somebody else's life. Your gift is supposed to make such an indelible impression that no matter what stage they are in life, because of your gift is supposed to give them new direction. Your gift is supposed to give them life. Your gift is supposed to inspire them, challenge them to change. You don't know what your gift is going to do for somebody. Here's what we do too. Here's the other thing that we do. We go to comparing our gift with somebody else. That is stupid. That is plain dumb. You hear what I'm saying? You can't do the gift comparison. Here's why. God gave you what you were supposed to have. He gave somebody else what they were supposed to have. And when you could start doing comparison, what's more important, your left hand or your right hand? What's more important, your left ear or your right ear? See how silly that sounds? Well, that's how it is when we do comparisons. We're not supposed to compare our gift because everybody's gift is supposed to serve a different purpose. It can be the same thing. But maybe it's supposed to hit someone differently. See, the gift takes a turn because you're in it. So you can't compare. You can't. Don't get stuck in the sin of comparison and trying to evaluate if your gift is important based on how you see somebody else's gift. Someone else's gift is their problem, not yours. All right, you've got to focus on what you're called to do. You've got to focus on who you're called to be, because your gift makes the difference. I'm going to give you something else. People think because you're not popular, you're not effective. That's a lie. I'm going to give you something else. Popularity is not for everybody. Everybody can't handle that pressure. They can't. You can't judge it by how popular you are, how known you are. That doesn't decide how important your gift is. Miss Alberta, good morning. Norma Davis, good morning. Welcome to Coffee Time. Glad you all decided to tune in. So just because a person has a certain, because this is the other demonic thing that I believe that we've yielded to, we watch how many followers a person got, how many people follow them, and we try to determine their significance. The best person to do what it is to be done is probably sleeping up under a bridge. You cannot compare what you have to somebody else. Why? God gave you the portion that you're supposed to have to affect change the way that you're supposed to affect change. In my life, believe it or not, I still have a radio show. It doesn't come on in Jacksonville because Jacksonville don't want to pay the freight. You know, they wanted to do everything free here, and my radio show is not free. I get paid for that. So I'm working some things out. I'm not going to talk too soon, but I'm working some things out because I would love for it to be in this city. But I still do a radio show. That's why I got this equipment, because I still have to send these files off. But listen to me. During the course of my radio career, I've been on radio full time since 2008. A lot of people didn't know this, but since 2008, I've been on radio full time. From 2008 to 2012, I was on The Promise. Y'all remember The Promise? All right. Sunday afternoons, I was a co-host. I was a co-host on somebody else's show. December 2012 is when we started the Terrence Pickett Show, and the Terrence Pickett Show has been going ever since. During the course of my radio career, and just, so y'all don't play me, Terrence Pickett Show has done some major damage. In fact, my cousins, who lives in Michigan, listens to my show and texts me when I'm on air. So don't play with me. Just because you don't know don't mean it's not happening. Pickett out here working. I'm doing things. Oh, okay. Don't come for me. I won't come for you. Try Jesus. Don't try me. I don't need you. Brought my own audience. But during the course of my radio career, people, I don't know, I do know why. I'm getting ready to say I don't know why. I do know why. They say, you're going to be the next Steve Harvey. And I remind them, I'm not. There's only one Steve Harvey. I'm the next Terrence Pickett. The world haven't seen anything like me. I don't care what radio station you listening to. I don't care where you go in this world. There's not another me. Now, this is the coffee shop. This is going to be interesting. I am live on air. This better be important. What's up? The cakes are what? Hey, that's not important. I'm live online. I will call y'all when I get off air. That ain't important. It is what it is. I mean, she said what she said. Okay. Thank you. See what I'm talking about? Now, I told them it better be important. It wasn't important at all. They're majoring on the minor. But anyway, don't get caught up into who people compare you to, into thinking that that is the goal for your life. Don't believe that because they're popular, that is how you define your purpose. That's what you're supposed to be. I respect Steve Harvey. I respect what he's done, what he's doing. Brother is worldwide, but he is not the margin for the success that I'm supposed to have. He's not. And though he's a black man and he's on radio, I understand what people are saying. When people don't have anything tangible to compare you to, they have to find something, and that's what they do. But he's not the margin for my success. The margin for my success has been created by the one that gave me the gift. So I'm not looking at Steve. I'm not looking at I'm not looking at, what's the radio? The Breakfast Club. I'm not looking at all these saying that's where I'm supposed to be. No, I'm not. Never have. Didn't even listen to their radio shows. One of the reasons I don't listen to nobody's radio show, because I don't want nobody saying Pickett stole anything from them. Everything that I got is original. God downloaded it into me. Me and my team, we work it. I don't listen to other radio shows. I don't need their ideas, because I'm called to be me. The target for me is what God has measured, and he'll show me the measurements based on where he's called me to be and what he's called me to do. So I'm not comparing myself to other TV hosts. I'm not comparing myself to other radio hosts. If I've got 7 people on 700 or 7,000, it's not going to change my content, because I'm not moved. I'm not moved by the numbers. Now, I do believe it's supposed to grow. I do. Anything alive is supposed to grow, but in terms of the margin that I'm supposed to reach, y'all can't determine that. You're around here comparing yourself to other people. You don't know what they did to get where they are. You don't know what God has been working in and through to get them where they are. You don't know who's in the wheel, who's outside the wheel. You don't really know the height of your own success if you're measuring it based on the influence of others. Because here's what you've done now. You've taken God out of the equation. And I'm telling you, just because it looks good to us doesn't mean that it's God. There's some people worldwide right now, and they have worldwide influence that are operating outside of the will of God. There are some people that are local, that are operating inside God's will. So how popular you are, how famous you are, it's not the measuring point on how successful you are. Let's define what success really is. I know people who known all over the world, and I've had to talk them off the cliff from killing themselves because they don't have peace. Let me tell you what's disrupted their peace. They're operating outside of the grace that has been designated for them in their life, trying to compete with people that stands outside of the circumference of what God has called them to do. I'm going to be me. I'm going to be Terrence. You can't say, well, other churches do this, Pickett. Why you ain't? Because that's not what I'm called. I know what I'm called to do, where I'm supposed to be, and you can't compare me to anybody else, because when God created me, my DNA is different. He created me alone. I came out of the womb by myself. The only competition that I have is me. The only lane that I'm concerned about is mine and the lanes of people that I'm supposed to help. So stop comparing yourself to others. This is why. Let me tell you something else. Another reason you don't need to be comparing yourself to other people. People don't put their struggle on social media. They don't put how many times they fail until after they succeed. So they're going through all kind of processes. They're making it look good. They got all these likes. You oh my God. Oh, they married. They happy. Yeah, but you didn't know last night he tried to kill her. Because people don't post the struggle. They don't post the bad stuff. They don't post the failures. Social media has been glamorized and it's been sanitized. It's been sanitized to appeal to your senses to get you to like it. Because we don't like process. We don't want to know. We don't want to know how hard it is. We don't care about people going broke unless at the end of their story they're rich. That's the only time we're going to listen. Because we don't like process. So don't be going on social media saying you wish you were this one. You don't know what it cost them to get where they are. And then you don't know if they're telling the truth or a lie. Because on social media, you can be whoever you want to be. But I'm telling you, the epitome of success is measured by God's assignment for your life. I don't care how many stores, how many chains, how many franchises are out. You got to do you. Somebody told me the other day, they said, I believe you're going to be bigger than Starbucks. I probably won't, because Starbucks is not my measuring point. What those people have done, they've been doing it over 50, 60 years. I don't have that much time left in life. Unless it happens after my death. That's not even my goal. So we got to stop measuring based on popularity. We have to stop measuring based on money. Our measurement should be orchestrated and designed by God's divine nature and what he's commanded you to do in the earth. Lintrell Jacobs. Good morning. Lintrell Jacobs is making some major noise in Atlanta. I personally believe she's supposed to be worldwide. I do. I believe that girl's going places. She's fly. She's beautiful. She's on top of a business, but I can guarantee you there's some struggle involved with what she's doing. You can't compare yourself to other people because you don't know what people are dealing with. You don't know what people have to go through. You don't know what people have to press through. God has to be the measuring stick that you use to determine your success. I know people who made a lot of money, listen to me, and turned around and allowed that money to cause so much depression that they killed themselves, but their banks are fat. Now their family is hurting. You have to find your lane. You have to do what you know. Stretch yourself by getting around people that are better than you, but don't you get caught up in the sin of comparison. Comparison kills. So since I got this coffee shop downtown, it's put me in the arena to meet other coffee owners. Let me testify of the goodness of God, the grace of God, and the wisdom of God, and what happens when you listen to God. God has been directing what I need to do to make this coffee shop work. And for the time being, it's working pretty good. Oh, yeah, it's working real good. Now, I don't know what next year look like. I'm talking about right now. And these other coffee shop owners are trying to figure out what I'm doing that we're able to do what we are doing right now. They want to know what the key to your sauce is. But what is it you're doing? And my answer is always listening to wisdom. Wisdom is subjective based on the person. I believe I'm listening to what God is telling me to do. I'm looking at the trends. I'm studying statistics. I'm also looking at the demographics that I have and we've created our own rhythm as to what we should do for our coffee shop, and that's made it success. The community has made it a success. I believe it's a mirage of things. It's not one, it's a mirage of things. And they're trying to figure out, well, how did you make it this big so fast? Well, to you it's fast. But I believe my life prepared me for these moments. So even though the coffee shop is new, what it takes to run it has cost me my life. Minister Wayne Benedict, good morning, sir. It's cost me my life. Everything that you go through is a setup for you to learn from, and it's preparing you for what's next. So the key to my secret sauce is I listen to the one who created me. I'll never forget, I kid you not. I'm not kidding to you all. I was working for a company, killing the game. I was their number one. Every company that I went to, I was their number one sales rep, and they were trying to figure out what I was doing. Some people thought I was lying. Oh, he's lying to the customer to get the sale. And I used to tell them all the time, you don't have to lie to the customer to get the sale. You're jealous. And they were mad at me. At a lot of companies, they were mad at me. They were envious of me because I was doing well. So when people can't place you, they create a placement for you. They hadn't seen that level of success, so they didn't think it existed. So what they start saying is, he's got to be doing something shady. And all the liars that were lying on me, saying that I was doing something shady, they had to come with me so I could help train them. And they saw what honesty would bring you. You don't have to lie and sell yourself short to get ahead in life. You got to listen to what God is telling you to do. There are gifts that God has placed in you. When you sharpen those gifts will win wherever you are. So all my haters that were saying I was lying and I was stealing and all that stuff, now I'm training them. Your gift, your presence is supposed to mean something in the earth. You're supposed to have influence in the earth. Influence gives you power. Power gives you control so that you can shift and tilt how things are supposed to operate in the earth. Your voice matters, your presence matters, your gift matters. But if you don't see the value in you and you listening to your lying boss that is trying to limit you, hinder you, and hold you back, you're only going to be as good as they are. Lintrell Jacobs says, let me post this. She says, a sales background or training is super essential in business. She's right, because you got to know how to deal with people. Here's the other thing that we don't do, especially believers. Christians, I'm talking to you Christian, you tongue-talking folk. You read your Bible, you better be reading them business books. You better see what Forbes is talking about, because the world is giving us information as to where we're going. You have to follow the trends. I'm not saying be trendy. I am saying you better listen to what they're saying so you can get ahead of the curve. There was a time in the early, late 90s, early 2000, we thought the internet was AOL, America Online. We did. You can't get there. We didn't know that it was just basically a channel that's used to get you to the internet. We thought it was the internet. You got AOL? Everybody was talking about AOL. AOL was $1 billion company sitting on top of the world, and they controlled the market. They got satisfied with where they were. Listen to me. They got satisfied with where they were, and the world was still moving. While they were chilling, they knew they had coined the market. They knew they had the advantage. Nobody had the money that AOL had because people didn't know this. Warner Brothers owned the majority of AOL. So they had an advantage. They had a name. They had money. They had influence. And somebody created fast speed. So AOL created high speed. And then they got comfortable. They stopped listening to the needs of the people. The needs of the people was, get me online faster. We don't want this buffering. We don't want this pausing. It's taking us too long. They stopped grinding. They didn't stay ahead of the curve. Now, AOL is a thing of the past. All the money they had, all of the influence they had, all of the power they had, they lost in this market because they settled and got comfortable. You better be reading. You better be listening. You better be studying. You better be studying the trends of your market. You better be studying statistics and listening to the wisdom of God. That's good, Lintrell. Lintrell said, yes, comfort is the other enemy outside of comparison. Comfort. They got comfortable. You got to stay on your grind. You got to stay ahead of the curve. You got to listen. I'm telling you, you better spend more time in prayer, but don't just pray. You better watch the news. These are the things that a lying boss is not going to tell you, because a lying boss is one, and the boss could be the system, or it could be a person, or it could be a combination of both. The lying boss don't want you to get ahead, because a boss don't want you to become a boss, because now you're competition. Not only are you competition, you are a threat to them. And when people cannot control you, a lot of them are going to hate you. Most of the jobs that I had, when I left, I could always go back, except for the church. We'll talk about that another day. Because there's this level of ego that men have, where we feel like the people that work for us are our competition. There's this Saul mentality that operates and rule in the church with leaders in high places. Saul had killed his 1,000, David his tens of thousands. And in the position that I was in church was leading worship. And they sought to control me. You're not going to be able to control me. And the reason I walked off a lot of them jobs, you're not going to control me. Jesus has always been my soft. He was, he is, and he will continue to be. And when you start to do things that are questionable, things that bother me in my spirit, it's time for me to go. And whether they fired me or I left, God got me out of there. You don't have to compromise to a lying boss. It could be in the church. It could be in the world. You don't have to compromise to a lying boss. I don't care how many lies are told on you. I don't care what people say against you. They can't stop the success that God has for you when you listen to what he tells you to do. Your enemies sometimes can be in your family. Family and friends. Anybody that wants to hinder you from moving forward in purpose is your enemy. Jesus called 12 men, and one of them tried to stop him from doing what he came to do, and he called him Satan. Told Peter, "Get thee behind me, Satan." He called him Satan, because Satan is anything that tries to hinder you from your God-given purpose. You've got to get rid of the Satans in your life. Whatever influences in your life that are hindering you, you've got to get rid of them. I'm going to give you this last thing and I'm done. Protect your peace. You've got too many decisions that you have to make. Your decisions are going to affect where you're going. Your decisions are going to affect too many people's life. For you to be juggling, trying to hold on to someone who's disrupting your peace. If they disrupt your peace, you need to get them out of your space. Sometimes it's permanent, sometimes it's temporary. But you need your peace, because it's inside of your peace that you're going to make the proper decision. You can't think when you don't have peace. You don't have clarity when you don't have peace. You're subject to making impulsive decisions when your peace have been disturbed and disrupted. You've got to get rid of them, get them out your space. You've got to reconfigure the things that give you peace. You got to get that peace before you can make a decision, because your peace is your connection to hearing God. Can't make decisions and you agitated, frustrated, irritated. Those things kill motivation. Protect your peace. Anything that comes to disrupt your peace is trying to stop you from moving forward. Anything that's trying to hinder you from moving forward is an enemy to your destiny. Protect your peace. That means you may have to get rid of some relationships. That means you may have to love some family and friends from a distance. That means you got to do what you got to do to protect your peace. but get them away from you, because your peace is your power to make the right decision and give you greater influence. Be about your business. Be about your business. Protect your peace. Thank you for your love, your support. Thank you for listening to Call for Time. You're born to win, predestined to succeed. There's nothing that can happen to you today that the wisdom on the inside of you is not able to handle. You've got to calm down, slow down, be quiet, know when to speak, and listen to wisdom in you. When you listen to the wisdom in you and allow her to choose, you would never make a mistake. Thank you all for tuning in. You all have a great day, and always remember to think higher. Speak life.
Coffee time, coffee time. Yeah, this ain't your average cup of joe. Listen, I need it in the morning, I need it at night. He always keeps it brewing, he always keeps it tight. Just a little sip, it'll get you right. Terrence Pickett always be the one that gets the coffee right. The coffee's right, the coffee's right in my life. It's never a wrong time over crime to get what's yours and to get what's mine. Come on. Coffee time in my life. Coffee time. Feels so right. I need a little sugar, put it in my cup. Can you stir it, Terrence? Let me know what's up. And at the end of the show, you can brew another pot. Just make sure you make it hot. Come on.